Okay, before anything else, you need to join the GDBounty Discord. The link is the very first thing in the description below. Everyone who joins before the site goes live gets a permanent founder badge on their profile. And I'm planning the first ever event. And all the details, all the first announcements are going to happen there before they happen anywhere else. So please, pause this video for a second and join. Right, so it's been a while. The last video was a month ago, and I want to be honest about why. I got burnt out. It was the feeling of staring at the same few hundred lines of code for 8 hours straight and feeling like you've actually gone backwards. The motivation was just gone. Some of the technical problems, which I'll get to later, felt completely unsolvable. It felt like I'd hit a wall that was too high to climb, and it was just me on my own trying to figure it out. So I stepped away. I closed Visual Studio Code, I stopped looking at the database, I played some games, I focused on school. I just stopped. And it was actually the absolute best thing I could have done, because when I came back to it about a week ago, with a clear head, the problems didn't seem so impossible anymore. The code that I couldn't understand suddenly made sense. For anyone who's new here and has no idea what I'm talking about, I'm best known as iSpooky. I'm 17, I'm from Portugal, and for the past 2 to 3 months I've been building GDBounty completely by myself. It's a bounty platform for the geometrydash community. It's a place where creators, sponsors, or normal players can post cash prizes for in-game challenges such as beating a certain level, getting a low death count, getting a new best on a level, and it's also a place for skilled players to come, prove they did it, and get paid. It's something I feel like the community has needed for a while, a centralized place to make these kinds of challenges feel official and secure. So, you may ask now, what actually got fixed? What was the wall I was stuck on? Those are the two main points that I will be talking about. First was the entire authentication and account creation system. It was, for a lack of a better word, completely broken. You could go to the sign up page, put in your details, click the button, and maybe you'd get an account created in the database. But the system that was supposed to handle the callback from our out providers and then create a persistent session wasn't working. So basically, you could sign up, but you couldn't actually log in. Or if you did manage to log in, the second you refreshed the page, you were logged out again. It was a complete nightmare for me to solve. The fix was to completely tear down that logic. I rewrote the entire callback route and how session tokens are stored and verified. Now it just works. But that wasn't the big problem. The second thing is the real problem. It was the payment integration with Stripe. This was the biggest blocker on the entire project, and it's not completely finished. I still have some problems with it, but I'm slowly working on it and fixing them. And it's because GD Bounty isn't just a simple store where I'm selling something. It's a marketplace. That means I'm not the one getting paid. A user posts a bounty, that money needs to be held securely. And then when the bounty is completed, that money needs to be paid out to a different user. And this requires using Stripe Connect, which is an entirely different level of complexity. You have to manage holding funds, you have to handle distributing funds to a third party account, you have to have a synchronous webhook set up to listen for events like payment succeeded or payment failed, because these things don't happen instantly, and you have to do all this while complying with a ton of financial regulations. And this is where most of my burnout came from. Okay, so with all that said, let me walk you through the entire site as it stands today. For people who have been following, you'll see the progress. For new people, this is GD Bounty. This is the home page. It immediately tells you what the site is about. You post bounties, you complete bounties, and you earn money. The goal was for a new user to land here and get the entire concept of the website in about 10 seconds. We already saw the authentication process, but it's a part of the website, so I'm going to show it. You can sign up with email or connect with Discord or Google for a quicker login. Once you're in, the main action is creating a bounty. This form was one of the first things I designed. You give it a title, a detailed description of the task, and you set the prize money. You also choose the category like level completion, creation, high score, or more niche things. This helps people find challenges they're good at. This is the backend admin panel that only mods and I can see. When a new bounty is created, it enters a queue here. A mod can then review it, check the proof of funds, ensure the rules are clear and fair, and then either approve it to go live on the site or reject it with a note back to the user explaining why. Once bounties are approved, they appear here on the main browse page. I designed this with the horizontal scrolling section so you can quickly see the newest bounties. The goal is to make discovery easy and not just throw a giant unsorted list of bounties at you. Now you have the leaderboards. They are simple now, but it's really self-explanatory, so you can just read it. In the settings page, you can manage your profile, link your geometrydash account, and do other things. This is also where you'll find the comparison for the pro plan. The entire site is free to use browsing, completing bounties, but I'm planning a small optional subscription, the Pro plan, that will give users things like a special badge on their profile, the ability to feature their bounties on the homepage, and a few other perks. This is the model for how the platform will sustain itself and pay for server costs long term. Finally, a small feature I really wanted was a global chat. It's a simple chat box that presents on most pages of the site. It's not super advanced, but it's a place for the community to hang out, talk about active bounties. So that's the platform. Almost all of it is built. So what comes next? The last major technical piece is finishing that Stripe webhook handler and then doing a mountain of testing to make sure the money moves correctly. Once that is done, the site is feature complete for a version 1 launch. From there, the plan is this. First, I'll do a closed beta. This beta will be exclusively for members of the Discord who are there before we announce it, those who have the founder badge. We'll run that for a week or two, fix any bugs that come up, then we will officially announce the big launch event, and shortly after that, the platform will open up to the public. I'm not going to give you an exact date because I've learned my lesson about doing that, but I'm finishing it. I'm talking about weeks, not months.